4, 3, 2. Hello, people of Earth. It is March 24th, 3:13 in the afternoon. It's the season 1 finale of Haystack Hates Your Music. It's me, your friend, Chris Kennard, with the almighty chicken nugget behind me, live from the Depression Nest in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with the effervescent, the incredible, the Sucio, good old Lowe's Haystack West. How are you doing today?
I'm glad to be here. Let's just say that, man. It's been a pretty agitating couple hours, but my old man got my spark plugs installed into my car, and everything is everything.
Yo, if you got a good relationship with your daddy right now, shout out to your daddy. Anyone who might be listening, straight up. Love you, daddy. I put in the comments, like you can put a status in like Facebook Messenger now. Like earlier this afternoon, I was like making glizzies, and if I'm keeping it a butt, I was making some glizzies, 2 regular schmegglers, and making glizzies, 2 regular schmegglers, and like 2 like chicken and apple sausages. You know what I mean? That's just the type of shit I'm on. I had like some carrots and celery in the
broth. Variety. I understand.
Yes, sir. A little garlic salt. You know, a little bit of zhuzh. I'm listening
Not enough variety in the regular glizzy, huh?
Come on, bro. You know what time? I got the potato rolls. Got the secret sauce by Hidden Valley. Don't fuck with me, okay?
Okay,
we like flavor in this house.
Cooking. Hold on.
Man, your boy Blackleg Sanjay got shit on me. Bobby Flay, what's my name, boy? Yeah. But like, I'm listening to like the One Song podcast with Diallo Riddle and Luxury, and they're talking about like the history of like Daft Punk, and I'm like, man, these French niggas really love their music, and just like playing like the songs that kind of just like put them where they were. And I'm just like, bro, I love music so much. Like I had to stop the podcast just to listen to those records, like the Lady, Hear Me Tonight, and the I Feel Like Music Sounds Better with You. I'm like, bro, like these house records are hot.
That's a crazy thing about Daft Punk, right? Is that I obviously don't listen to Daft Punk, but every time I listen to a Daft Punk song, I be grooving.
No, and what's so crazy about Daft Punk is that one of the brothers' daddies was in the music industry during the 70s. And he's like, oh, I love disco. Basically, you know what I mean? He's like, bro, disco is the best fucking genre. What is y'all talking about? Don't ever disrespect disco. And so like this was like on like the front lines of like, yo, respect black music, respect black artists, because like they made disco. So like watch your mouth. And I'm like, I'm so glad that I'm like knowing that information prior to like what I know about Daft Punk makes so much sense. Like their first band was with one of the dudes from Phoenix. And I'm just like, man, just like their influence is just all over the place. I'm like, God, I fucking love music so much. And I'm so thankful, like, even if we don't know all the same shit together, like we share that same passion and love. And so today's episode is a greatest hits of sorts. Like it's 2 a.m. and you hear that Celine Dion track and you hear good old Lo saying, my nigga, why aren't you asleep? Okay, let's talk about the CDs you could win by calling this number on the line for $3.99.
The funny thing is, I definitely would mind doing the voice of those commercials and shit.
This Za's going crazy right now. Oh, the plug.
And side note though, disco should probably an episode focus for next season because listen, Mama Crawford loves disco and that influence rubbed off on me.
I am so like into the idea of Mother Crawford like executively producing one of these podcasts. I'm not even going to lie to you.
I will speak to her about it.
Please. Like, I know she's got some stories to tell, and I'm like, we need to keep these recipes. You smell me?
Yeah, definitely. And like, that's the thing. You know, that's the main issue that we're losing recipes because these kids aren't, you know, really for one reason or another
getting hip to the songs of yesteryear. Like I remember growing up, me and my brothers, of course, we weren't the ones driving, so we'd be on rides home with my mom or both my parents, and we pretty much be forced to listen to the Quiet Storm after a certain hour. Like they let us have our hip hop and rap you know going to wherever we went, yada what have you. But like after about 7, 8 o'clock at night on the way home, you're now tuned into the evening quiet
Quiet
storm.
Storm.
And as a kid, I used to hate that shit, but like the older I got, the more I appreciated it. Because like nowadays I listen to the Quiet Storm and the songs that, were playing when I was younger, I now have that like nostalgic feeling. It's like a feel good ass feeling, you know what I'm saying? Then not only that, but I'm looking back, I'm like, dog, in retrospect, these songs are actually pretty dope. Like my parents got it. Well, obviously, because my dad he played in a band, but my mom got an eclectic ear too. So again, that's where I get my like musical influence from. That's where I get my like ear from my parents because they they know what sounds dope. Like I've always trusted them in knowing what was dope and what wasn't. It's like my older brother too, but nowadays my older brother like his ear is trying to stay young apparently, like because he listens to
Hmm.
what the kids are listening to for the most part, and
Hmm.
I take a firm stand against that.
I want to say one thing, if not two things. Like last year, I guess I was doing my I guess I was doing my young man shit with the whole post a song to TikTok for the entire year.
Yeah.
And the one dude at my job who's a Zoomer, like he looked at the list and he's like, that's very impressive. And so I'm like, okay, so one person respected like the grind I was trying to be on. But in me being on TikTok for countless hours, like one thing I do like is when like you're in the pocket of like DJ TikTok
Mm.
and this one guy was spinning at a club and he was playing Act Up by City Girls, which at the time I'd never heard before. And I respect the City Girls for what it's worth. And but then like the dude blended Act Up, like he took the vocal from Act Up and started playing Kiss of Life by Sade, and like mugs just
Oh
lost their
my.
mind. They're like, yo! And just like I'm like, oh man, like there's still a God because like only a person who really respects music can do that kind of shit.
Hell
And
yeah.
this was last year. And then today, I'm all over. Like a lot of people on my Twitter feed are in like the hardcore scene, into metal, into like do-it-yourself rock. And there's been a lot of just like discourse on like moshing or specific like two-step riffs. And people who I respect, like who gives a fuck, come to the show, get in the pit, have fun, be safe. Like, yo, who gives a fuck? Just write what sounds good to you. Worry about like how it sounds when you get to the studio or until like the producer hears it. Just like have fun, enjoy yourself. Because like last night, Dying Wish, I think they're about to like take the stage. And so like the guy on sound just started playing like Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, full volume. And so everyone started doing the Macarena in the mosh pit. And so people were like, yo, this is like the most wholesome shit we've seen in a pit in years.
That
And
might be the most wholesome mosh pit ever. A Macarena pit.
yeah, like and it's like the fucking like 80s Tears for Fears. It's very much like, yo, this is so much fun. And motherfuckers are trying to like poo-poo that shit. And I'm like, and I have no like I'm not gonna go back and forth with like a weirdo with no like AVI on Twitter about that. But I thought about like, Tears for Fears, like they wrote a banger with like Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Like it's been covered twice by two bands that I really like. And they're like the song still hits even if someone else sings it because it's a really good fucking composition. And as far as I can recall, that band's still together because like they're two old British dudes. And like when you see them play that song, they smile from ear to ear. And it's like, oh, they really love the song that they wrote, and it made an impact on the world at large. And I'm like, that's the sign of a really fucking good song. And I never want to like lose how good that feels. It's like I really do like. Maybe I told this story before, but I'll tell it again. When I visited my sister in Brooklyn, she was taking me to like the studio where she works on her stuff. And as we were walking, you know, in the space where she's at, like the Brooklyn she lives in is in the process of being gentrified. But as we're going through the art studio, we pass this old black man who's sitting in his velvet robe in the home where he owns, just playing his oldies and just, you know, Daniel Garcia from AEW. Basically, that's just like, and I'm like, this guy's a fucking king.
Just instead of in the speed that Daniel Garcia does it, just in a real slow, groovy
like
way.
Smokey Robinson performing gasms type shit.
The how I imagine Marvin Gaye was doing in the picture of Let's Get It On.
Yes.
Yeah, that pose. That was exactly what Cuz is doing. The movement of that pose.
I'm like, this is everything that the ancestors were fighting for. Because like, man, this is his crib. You ain't gonna tell him to turn his records down. Like, he's giving y'all history. First of all, this is like it's my that's like in the past it's like, oh, I want to like go to college, get my degree, get a good job, meet a nice girl, have kids. And these days I'm like, maybe that's not for me necessarily. Maybe that's not even possible. That is what it is. But I do know, like, if I take care of myself, I'll be old and I'll be playing my fucking records. Except I'll probably be playing some shit like Cannibal Corpse. But who's gonna tell me no? I'm old. It's like, I ain't got long left. Open up this motherfucking pit.
I always imagine myself eventually, not like anytime soon, but like eventually getting into vinyls, and I just like,
oh my god, bro,
get
yes,
the whole setup, and like in like a 10-year span, I just got a vast collection, like a very solid eclectic collection of like some vinyls that I've always wanted, because I've always heard that vinyls is a much better way to play music.
It is.
And like I've never understood how or why, because I guess because I've never been exposed to it. But I've always imagined just being one of them like older middle-aged motherfuckers, and that's what I do for like evenings to, you know, hang out and blow off some steam before I meet the wife at bed. Like I hang out in the man cave. I like get the little like Sherlock Holmes pipe, fill that full of little Arizona Kush, put on, you know, nice little vinyl.
So motherfucking Griselda.
You beat me to it. Go on, man. Let me finish the bit. let me finish the bit, man.
Oh, Blinghausen.
And Hitler wears Hermes 10, please. And instead of grooving like this or whatever, I'm just getting bucked in the middle of my man cave. Like, nah, it's like 10 o'clock that evening, so I'm playing something like real smooth. So I'm probably like playing the like fucking Larry Lovestein album. I found that somehow.
Yes, sir. It's like the last copy of that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Or goddamn who do I listen to these days in R&B?
Yeah, that's what we really want to know.
Yeah. It's got that's a good question, because
I know.
Huh?
Like, you know how Nara was like, we need to know because you're good on Los.
Yeah, that is for true. Like, that is very for true. My thing is, I listen to a lot of like slow vibe hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And that like sometimes covers as my R&B, because I listen to a lot of R&B up to a certain year for the most part. So it's like it's very hard for me to like 100%, you know, tell you who I'm into in R&B these days. I want to say like I listened to a little bit of Alina Baraz.
I know who that is, yeah.
Some Sir, I know he's been under fire lately, but you know, Sir got some crank. Other than that, it's like I'm not 100% really into today's R&B because it's just a lot of like whisper singing and things like that. It's like Beyonce is always going to be a constant. The Knowles family in general. So like
Yo, shout
that
out Solange for real.
they're their own like subgenre of R&B if we're being honest,
It's
because
true.
they're in their own lane, uh, echelon, tier. So yeah, as far as I'm going through my like super mixtape right now on YouTube Music, and buddy, it's damn near nothing but hip hop. Faith Evans, that's a Erica Badu. Music Soul Child.
Oh God.
The Roots, of course. Uh,
Shout out Philly one time. Yes, sir.
Missy, goddamn, you can't count a Tribe Called Quest as R&B. That's hip hop. But like, yeah,
It's adjacent.
I like K Tronada. Okay, her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll probably be listening to some goddamn Afro beats or something like that. Vinyl.
Yo, low key. Hey, and I've heard some good things about that new Tyla record, so maybe we should get that a spin at some point.
I heard a lot about her. I haven't heard any of her music. Maybe I
Her
should
big
get
single
into
is
it.
really good. Like that Water record is pretty good, and like I'm usually pretty just like.
Oh,
If
that's
it's,
who that is? Maybe
Can you
holla,
blow
maybe
my mind? Yeah,
swag. And the rest of the podcast I listened to Deadlock. Somebody made that their name, their like little name for the little Patreon shout outs.
that's funny.
So I had motherfucking James White ass from North Carolina talking about maybe holla, maybe swag.
Or
The
make
rest
me
of
water.
I just had me crying laughing. And that song is like, it, if you listen to it too many times, you might get annoyed of it, but it's such a good song.
Yeah, man, like it's so funky hearing like radio songs when I don't listen to the radio.
Yeah,
Because I think about like, oh, like if I'm DJing a party or if I'm curating the playlist and it's like, because I mentioned how like the cats from Daft Punk know the dude from Phoenix. And I know hipsters, they're like, you know how hipsters are very much like, oh, you know that song by that one band. Oh, you're not really a fan, yada yada yada. It's like, cuz like sometimes people don't have the time to commit a full Discog dive. Shout out Mike the Snare. But like, you know, if like the one big song that like makes or breaks your career is a good one, let's still take the time to enjoy it if we can. You know, because
yeah,
some folk only need just need that one song, and it could be what
yeah,
that is. It could be
yeah.
it could and like especially if like, oh, I'm a one hit wonder. This song like paid for my meals for the next 10 fucking years.
And
I'm
that's the
gonna
flip
like
side.
it.
You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
like only a one hit wonder can have an attitude about being a one hit wonder. Like, you know what I mean? If you're a person who works like the day shift at a radio station and you have to play it, son, that's your job. Like, you know, you know, keep moving forward and get out of the line.
I've
And
always,
that's what I had to realize about myself, because I knew that I could not be that person, which is
yeah,
why like I gave up on seeking that kind of like career for myself. But like like the game is the game, like you always say. And so I'm just like, you know, like
the
I
game is
don't
the
want to
game.
like be, I don't want to be like this one. It's kind of like I love like hipster music, I love hipster culture, but like I don't want to just like get on a pedestal for folks who aren't just like obsessed as I am about just like these things that do not even fucking matter in regards to like, oh, but like they're a one hit wonder, their album wasn't even given, it was a flop. Shut up,
Well,
bro. Like
well, hold
as
on.
Vince Staples would say,
Hear me out.
that's a ooh,
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
please go ahead, please.
That's the like that's kind of the like flip side of being a one hit wonder, right? As far as your longevity goes as far as one song, and not a lot of people are going to respect that for the simple fact that your catalog doesn't stack up to just one song. And that when people talk about, you know, the greats, You talk about the fact that the greats have a catalog. You talk about the fact that Stevie Wonder has a catalog. You talk about the fact that MJ has a catalog. Uh, Janet has a catalog. Fucking Diana Ross, a catalog. Like all these artists, they all have catalogs. But then you hear, an artist that only has one song that they have a claim to fame from. Yeah, you don't 100% respect them as an accomplished artist. However, that one song that they did make rang the fuck off. And to this day, rings the fuck off. And you can't deny that anytime that joint rings the fuck off. So, on one side of the fence, if the longevity, the catalog, the career, if that's what you wanted, being a one-hit wonder kind of sucks, yes. However, if that wasn't your plan at all, your plan was to just hit it, just knock one out the park. You're a fan of stands and you go off the bat against a fucking professional pitcher. You just want to knock one out the fucking park so everyone remembers that shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you knock that shit off the park, everybody remember that shit. That's all the gratification and satisfaction that you need. You can, take your ball and go home with that. And not only that, you get residuals from every time that shit rings off. So you're essentially set for life. So there's nothing wrong with being a one-hit wonder. But in terms of, having the, career and the catalog, it doesn't stack up to having the career and catalog because those weren't one-hit wonders. They were hit after hit after hit after hit after hit wonders. And they were, one-hit wonders numerous times. So they hit them. They just had a fucking home run derby against that professional pitcher, and that's what people like to look at. However, we also gotta pay respect to the people that came out of the stands and knocked it out of the park.
I wanna like give credence to three one-hit wonders, and we can start with our main programming. First things first, you have my boy Rick Astley with "Never Gonna Give You Up." A man who is for all accounts and purposes, he embraced the meme, which is extent, and the fucker can sing, and always pops out in his native England, and people ring off for his shit. And knowing that he's such good friends with Dave Grohl means they Rickroll live audiences with "Never Gonna Give You Up." And again, that motherfucker can sing, and he sings one of the Foo Fighters songs so well. So I'm so happy for that motherfucker. Yes, Los.
My question of curiosity, though, that song came out when?
In the 80s.
I wonder how hard that joint rang off in that decade span versus when it became popular again in the internet age.
I would say that it probably hit. I would say, and I don't want to bother. I don't want to Google something for 10 minutes just to figure it out. But I imagine good enough for because who the fuck knows how shit was going on in the 90s. But the fact of the matter is, when the 2000s hit, it reemerged. So enough people found it funny and kept a copy enough to put up later for YouTube poop to pick it up again.
Yeah.
It definitely moves units. Who knows how it was received in the radio? But that's just one. Another one that I heard about recently, thanks to Todd in the Shadows, was "Relax" by Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the song about anal sex. And in England, they were a big fucking deal. And of course the song's about gay sex, duh. But in the States, it was we don't really care what the fuck you're up to. But in England, when you're on and you have one song, you're playing all the big festivals until you die. And when they were still trying to get over as a big band in England, they had a Christmas song, and they're oh, this song kind of fucking sucks, but it hits every year. So it's even if the residuals from "Relax" aren't hitting this year, we got a Christmas bonus coming up. And I'm like, that's how you fucking game the system when you have like a movement going.
It's kind of like All I Want for Christmas Is You. Like that song's not very good. It's only like catchy because it captures that jolly spirit.
Song, but I only want to hear it one time. I only want to hear it once.
Like that's a song that you like literally can only listen to once a year because it's a song that's made for only once a year. And once that jump come on once a year, everyone loves that song. Anything outside that song's never played because it's not really a good song for real. Like All I Want for Christmas Is You is not that good. It's only good because Mariah Carey sings it.
All I want to say about Mariah Carey is that like she is like the one. She exists outside of like she has like a black woman. She has like it's like her situation is very complex, and that like her whole discography is a hit, whether you want to like argue or not about it. But for the rando who does not like have like a black community of friends or family to like understand like this context, like you're gonna hear every Christmas. So yeah, I guess she does technically qualify if I'm like cutting it down to brass tacks. But the last thing I wanted to say, and speaking of like black folks, I want to speak of like Mark Morrison with Return to the Mac. Because like again, these are like I mentioned Rick Astley, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Mark Morrison, all British folk. And like we would have never fucking known if not for the internet that Mark Morrison wasn't from the States.
Yeah.
Oh.
A wire coat hanger. Check my closet. I'm not 100% on that actually. Well, she just takes coat hangers in general. she's a hanger thief. So I'm not 100%. Yeah, exactly. Most of them are just plastic though. But yeah, Doug, but with Mariah Carey, it's like All I Want for Christmas Is You has the like soundings of a one-hit wonder, but we know that Mariah Carey for sure isn't a one-hit wonder. As a matter of fact, her discography at least has about a good 5-6 albums that were bangers. So it's like it doesn't like. Also, Mariah Carey. Well,
reasons why I need to be back in Montgomery County. Hey neighbor, can I borrow a hanger? Like what?
Right. What? But yeah, also Mariah Carey, the middle evolved form and the high octave evolution chain.
I was in middle school. That's enough.
Hey, look. That All-Star game when she was in that Jordan jersey dress? Yeah!
One word. Ferda.
Yeah, I got 4 for you. Bring back jersey dresses.
Yeah, one for me and all my women.
Bring back professional league apparel. All right? I miss those days. I miss throwbacks. I miss women in jersey dresses. I miss wearing headbands for no reason.
You need to change clothes in reverse.
I miss wearing my jerseys backwards like Nelly. Like, I miss it.
Yo, we've been riffing for half an hour. Let's give the people what they came for. This is the season 1 finale. Just as like a heads up and like to build some kind of like, build heat, as they say in the business. Like when season 2 returns in April, like the first 2 episodes will be spearheaded by good old Los, our Haystack West, because like he happened to mention he has a list of like his greatest songs ever, and I want a chunk of that. Like in my own personal life, I've built 365 songs in 365 days. I'm trying to build the best 500 pop songs of all time. I'm trying to build a 24-hour playlist for retail settings. So now I need like to create to collect another. I need another. If I'm Kenny Omega, the belt collector, I need the Haystack West 50 greatest songs list of all time, because I have a 50 greatest songs list, but I'm not as proud of it as I maybe I'll make a comeback during episodes 3 and 4. We'll get there when we get there, but like I want to focus more on good old Los. Like he is like the benchmark for this brand. I want to see what's going on in that brain of his.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my 50 greatest songs ever, personally, at least a good 7 or 8 of them are Mac Miller songs. So just a heads up.
So look forward to that.
Most likely they'll be in the top 15. So I love Mac Miller. Mac Miller was essentially, in my opinion, the most perfect technical all-around rapper of the modern era. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that disagree, but you got to understand, my personal criteria on hip-hop is the hip-hop report card. And I honestly think that should be the, like, respected criteria within the hip-hop community, the hip-hop report card. Because
there's a body of work.
It gives you every intangible that you should have as an MC or as a rapper in general. And in terms of like your style, your flow, we're in an era right now where a lot of the mainstream flow is used by a lot of different artists. Like too many people that's using the same flow. There's no real variety to it anymore. So yeah, I use the hip hop report card as my like criteria for hip hop, for judging hip hop in general. And Mac Miller, that motherfucker was an A+ rapper, and
I agree.
Sense of the word, an A+ artist, if you will, because even when he tried to experiment with other genres and things like that, he was cranking out some pretty dope shit. Like again, I brought up Larry Lovestein earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
That jazz album is solid as hell, and I'm not saying that as just a fan. I actually go back and listen to a few songs out of that. A Moment for Jazz is probably my favorite song out of that album. When he did the Divine Feminine, that was him steering in an experimental direction, and everyone loves the Divine Feminine. And then my favorite song is essentially acid jazz. What's the use? That motherfucker pushed the envelope the right way for hip hop. And if motherfuckers actually follow his blueprint as opposed to the Migos blueprint, and nothing against the Migos, because the Migos
they serve their purpose.
They serve their purpose. You know what I'm saying? But everyone, instead of taking them as an influence, they emulated them. So now the mainstream rhyme scheme is the Migos flow. And not everyone can do the Migos flow. Only the Migos can do the Migos flow.
Only the Migos can do the Migos flow.
However, if one took influences or took pages out of Mac's playbook and actually like paid attention to what he was doing instead of just him being the goofy white kid that could also rap his ass off in their eyes, rap will be in a completely different direction and a much better direction. Like, if you ask me, because the direction that it's going right now is just everybody's so enamored with being, a goon and living out their raps when they don't understand that is the entertainment portion of hip hop. Again, Bone Thugs and Harmony said, this shit's right here for the streets, not for you to go and do.
So with that in mind,
they don't understand that. So now they create music that puts the battery in their back to go do stupid shit. When again, Mac Miller was not only making that dope shit, but he also put some battery packing music in as well. Delusional Thomas. Again, dog, the motherfucker was that versatile as an artist. And if I was actually paying attention and started experimenting a little bit, stepping outside the box, not being afraid to, be criticized heavily, because that's what really motivated Mac. His first album, he was panned by critics, and that shit, he took it personally. And in turn, we got Macadelic. That's all I'm saying.
all I want to say about Mr. Miller is that like a lot of people in the hip hop realm want to put the crown on Vince. And I was one of those people I want to say 2 years ago, I was one of those people that said, if there's a new big three, Vince is one of those big three. But like what can be clearly seen from Vince, because he said as much, he's not interested in wearing the crown. Making rap is his full-time job. Is a job that he has, but he wants to do other things. And I love that for Vince. But I only mention him to say, when Vince was getting his career started, who was in his face? Mac Miller. Yo, when's your shit coming out?
Mac Miller apostle.
Yeah, because Mac was like, so when's your shit coming out? And Vince had nothing but excuses. And Mac is like, I'll make all that happen for you because we want to hear your shit. And like I love
your shit, you're dope. You know what I'm saying?
I love this,
let me put you under my wing, pretty much.
That camaraderie is like, we need you. So how can I help? And like, I think that's what I want from hip hop the most. You know, like there's like, what I love about hip hop and what I love about Black people is I think what I love about Black people is hip hop. And like, I think that if I want to see hip hop grow and endure when I'm old, is that just showing support for these artists and loving them enough to say, hey, stop doing that fuck shit. You are bigger than that fuck shit, respectfully. And because like while you're talking about like how everyone wants to be hard, everyone wants to like be on the corner, it's like, man, Pop Smoke should still be here, you know, or other like young people like Pop should still like be alive making music, because that shit is not cute. It's depressing. Exactly. Like it makes you not want to even leave the crib. Like literally, I was listening to like. Here, go ahead.
To your point, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, and while I may like be inclined to disagree because I listened to his music and wasn't necessarily impressed, all the kids, they thought that he was going to change music, or like, you know, hip hop, or he was about to usher in like a new generation of a style in hip hop, things like that. He was going to be the next chosen one, right? And
I don't know what the hat, but he definitely was one of them ones.
Now he's gone because niggas wanted to live out those raps, right? Yeah. And where are them niggas now? I tell you what, they not where he was before they murdered him. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So what does that do for you? Nobody really want to think that shit through. Everybody want to be socially accepted by the wrong people, and that shit get you nowhere. Yeah, like that's something I had to learn the hard way. Luckily, it wasn't that hard of a way. But you got to figure it. At some point, you got to wake up and realize, yo, that shit is just for entertainment purposes only. All right, it's just to sound cool. All right, you're not supposed to actually do it. And that's why we don't have Pop Smoke anymore. That's why we don't have Dolph anymore. That's why we don't have fucking who else was recently murdered? Goddamn. What was his name?
LA brother?
Nah, cause that got jacked while he was out with his kids. I want to say it was.
Oh, you're definitely talking about the LA brother. Nip.
I think so.
Yeah, Nip.
No, not Nipsey, but also Nipsey. Like, don't y'all get it? Don't y'all fucking get it? Nipsey could be continuing the marathon right now if it weren't for you dumb motherfuckers. Like, come on, man.
I wanted to mention how like someone played like the Love Sosa beat for me, and like it was like over a commentary video. I'm like, man, I haven't heard Love Sosa in so long, and I really just love like the music that Young Chop and Keith made when we thought Keith was gonna be the next big one, and like I watched like a 5-year-old video.
It was for a period. Keith had a little bit of a run. Keith had a run. I wasn't a fan. Again, a run I wasn't a fan of. But again, looking back at it in retrospect, man, that was
a year. That was
That
just
was
like
a fun couple of years.
just like a 5-year-old video from like Complex, I think. No, from Genius was just like breaking down some of the lyrics, just like some of like the circumstantial things that led to those songs being made. And like Keith is still here, but like from what I understand, like he hasn't been back to Chicago for quite some time. And
Nope.
like he and Chop don't work together no more. Fredo Centeno died. Like
That's the irony of it all, though. Fredo didn't die by the sword.
yeah, it was substance
And
abuse, I believe.
that's what makes it even sadder because Fredo should still be with us too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it was
I guess kind of
nobody's
goes back
fault.
to Mac, doesn't it? You know, in regards to just like losing the fight to just like kind of
Substance abuse for the most part. But
look.
with Mac,
I want to
it's kind of a different story because fentanyl was not supposed to be in that coke. That's just how that.
I just want to say like because last night before I went to bed, I was listening to a review of like the new Schoolboy record, and I sat and as I was listening to the review, while I was listening to the review for Blue Lips, I'm like, you know, with all like this discourse around like Cole, Drake, Kendrick, I'm thinking who amongst the big boys are still putting out albums, and it's brothers like Q, brothers like Vince that are like putting out bodies of work. And so I hope like the new school guys who love rap in like an old school kind of way are taking notes from Q. Because I know Q's gonna be one of those cats who might be an exec at TDE someday.
To your point, Vince, Q, Solo. Those are the last three traces that we have of Mac Miller.
Yeah, it's true.
And we need to treasure them. Those were the three. Well, Thundercat as well, but those were the three that were the most deeply affected by Mac's death.
Yeah.
Not only as far as as an artistical genius and muse, but as a really dear friend. Like in that time span that they were, hanging out with each other, they really all grew to be really close friends. Like that, Mac apparently had that dope of a personality that he just was such a good friend in general. And those three are the last traces of him as far as artistical integrity for the most part, because with Blue Lips, that might be Schoolboy Q's Mona Lisa.
You really think so?
I legitimately think so. That was the quintessential Schoolboy Q album, if you ask me. Like, you listen to everything Schoolboy Q has created up to this point, this album sounds like an embodiment of everything he was trying to make up to this point, all completely coexisting and immersing in a perfect way.
Mm.
This album is absolutely the perfect front to back album. There's only like maybe one or two songs where I'm like, yeah, I don't really care for it. But even those shows crank. And I don't hate when people say that these shows crank. You know what I'm saying? So like, case in point, Thank God for Me is my favorite song in that album. And that might I add, he really took a very unorthodox approach to song structure throughout that entire album. And that's what I really like about it. The fact that he not really doing no verse, chorus, verse shit. You don't know exactly what exactly is the verse. You don't know exactly what is the chorus until he brings it around again. That's what I really liked about this album. Like with Thank God for Me, he sets the tone with the chorus or whatever, right? However, the chorus also differentiates. And then not only that, you only hear the chorus twice in the song. So you hear the chorus in the front of the song, and you hear the chorus in the back end of the song. In between all of that, you hear a good 2, maybe 3 verses. And the beat switch twice, switch back and forth in a span of 8 to 32 bars. That song is a fucking masterpiece that I heard before he started putting out singles for the jump. He had a little listening concert or whatever, and they played that jump. They previewed that jump. Man, I said I hope this jump's on the album, and boy was I glad it was. But on the other side, you also get Blue Lips. Blue Slides, which is right after Thank God for Me. And Blue Slides is like, man, that song brings me to tears every so often I listen to it. Like, then not only that, he also references, Mac passing in that song. So that's the perfect Schoolboy Q album, if you ask me.
Thanks, side. 46 minutes in. This is what we always do when we haven't seen each other for a while. We just be talking for real, bro. We just be talking, and with it just being the end of season 1, we don't really have to go too deep into records we've already spoken about. But as difficult, when you think about we give y'all 4 songs an episode. It's still we're talking at least 40 songs, not including our last big episode in episode 9 where we covered 8 songs. And so in an effort to just kind of save on time, I'm like, all right, bet, give me a record from every even numbered episode. And so we have a selection from episode 2, which was our K-pop episode, episode 4, which was our hip hop episode, episode 6, our international episode, and episode 8, which I believe was our indie episode. Thank you for 100 views on the indie episode for those who got a chance to watch it. The songs that Los collected were Dynamite by Vix, the remix by JID and Denzel Curry, Janoon by the Rajasthan Express and Johnny Greenwood, and The Bay by Metronomy. I've been saying their name wrong my entire life. I've been saying Metronomy, it's Metronomy, and I only know that because of Fantano, so shout out to the Melon.
It is what it is, man. Metronomy. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the same. I mean, I guess you bought
tomato, tomato.
But yeah, exactly. There it is. It's like Chris with a C and Chris with a K.
Bruh, I recently gave my Instagram to one of my coworkers, and she's like, "Oh, your name is spelled with a K," and I'm like, "Girl, I have a name tag."
She just thought they spelled your name tag wrong and shit. You just took whatever name tag was the most what was the best that went with your name and shit. Oh, not all everybody names it with a K. All right, man. You knew.
That's quite enough. Why don't we start with Dynamite then?
Yeah. All right. Now, I did manage to give a couple of notes, updated notes for Dynamite.
Yeah.
I will say that. Thank goodness, right? I said, now, I thought I'd be able to get more notes off on this song, but, well, every note track. I said, maybe it's the mood I'm in, but I had to subtract the rating. 7 out of 10 because it hit the first time, but this time, not so much.
You don't think it sustains? Interesting. I think it sustains, and I've been following that boy band for a little while. Not so much these days, because I believe, and any of the stands can correct me in the comments. I believe the rapper member of their group struck out on his own for his own solo success, which I think was a smart decision on his part. Because being in a boy band isn't unless you're fucking BTS, being in a boy band for a decade usually doesn't pan out for you.
I'm inclined to disagree slightly.
Hey, in America, we have maybe 2 successful boy bands, not including any of the black ones.
Oh, hold on. Let's. No. No, we got to run through them now. All right.
Successful boy bands.
Yes. NSYNC.
One.
BSB. As much
Who?
much Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys. Two.
Much children. In terms of, are we doing now? When we say boy band, what's the minimal amount of people?
4.
Okay, Jodeci.
Not including any of the black ones.
Not including any of the black. Why can't we include any of the black ones?
Because black boy bands are only like big in black circles. Jodeci isn't like a national success in America.
That's a goddamn shame.
Oh, trust me, because like I didn't know who Jodeci was till J. Cole.
Because real niggas fuck with Jodeci, not the Beatles. All right. Well, shit. Goddamn. 98 Degrees.
No, absolutely
not.
You
don't think so? No.
Fuck no.
No, they raised
that belongs in the 90s exclusively. Like BSB and NSYNC escaped the curse of the 90s.
Alright, so we still NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, huh?
That's all we have. That's all we bring to the table. As far as I'm concerned. As far as like international appeal is concerned. I even fucking give you Boys to Men. But like they're really like balladeers if we're thinking about it. They're balladeers, you know what I mean?
Hey, it counts. A boy band is a boy band is a boy band. That's a black ass boy band. That's true. That's true. That appeal to all of America. All right.
No, fuck that. I say the world. The Boys to Men are an international success for fucking sure.
Somebody said that "I'll Make Love to You" is the wackest R&B song ever, and after reading the lyrics, I was like, "Oh fuck, man, y'all might be right."
I'd say it's dated, but the worst? Get the fuck out of here.
No, not the worst in terms of like it being trash. I mean, like lyrically, the worst, the softest, beta ass song.
It's vanilla. That's all it is.
There it is. That's what I'm looking for.
It's just vanilla. I don't think it's bad.
The most vanilla R&B song of all time. And I was looking at the lyrics, I'm like, shit, dog, I can't even beat these allegations for them.
Yeah, like it's definitely like it's like if that's high on your nasty list, we can't we as Mona Leo would say, put that dick up, we ain't humping. You know what I mean?
Usher gave us more fire than this in his teens. Like, what are we doing here, guys?
Moving on.
Whoa.
They don't count as a boy band. They're a hip hop group.
Well, hold on now.
We're not doing this right now. We're not doing this right now.
You said a group of 4 people. Yes.
No, it does not count in this context. No, it does not count.
Wow,
it does not count. It does not count.
Wow.
Hey, first of all, pipe down, miss. Miss, pipe down, bruh. Pipe down, bruh. Hold on. Because, like, and here, I know what you motherfuckers are thinking in the comments, bruh. I know what you motherfuckers are thinking. Because we sure as shit don't call De La Soul a boy band, bruh. Let's call a spade a spade. That's one thing. Secondly, bro, I'm getting loud because like, hold on, bro. Let me talk about shit.
Just missed the mark, Chris.
Let me talk about shit, bro. Like, because boy band is a genre, first of all, and boy band exists in the top 40 pop category too. You know what I mean?
So for 2 songs, G-Unit was a boy band.
Nah, but like, hear me out though, right? Because in a way, I understand what V is saying, because like I think about, say, a boy band like Vicks. Because Vicks follows the formula of must be able to sing, y'all gotta be cute, y'all gotta dance, and there must be a rapper. That 4th thing is a big thing when it comes to this K-pop shit. And to an extent, I fucking hate you so much because you're not wrong, but you're. Yo, I'm about to be like Rocky IV and just throwing the fucking white towel because I think I'm licked, bro. This is terrible.
It's It's all coming. It's all coming at you at once. you never put any of this into thought or anything. No
We are not going to listen.
Fucking you up.
Listen. Max Caster, please give me strength. But like, we are going to sit here and call the Beastie Boys a boy band.
Look, all right. So can the
Jonas Brothers aren't even a boy band, bruh?
That's what they was marketed as. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that's what they were marketed as, a boy band. None like the Naked Brothers band. They were marketed as a boy band. When they're marketed as such, you just gotta call it what it is. But as far as musically going, Beastie Boys, can they sing? No, of course not. They do all the rapping, right? But it is for dudes that appeal to an entire, not only country, but a world. And goddamn it, they also got an MTV Life Achievement Award. Like
the videos are videoing for sure. The videos are videoing. That's for
sure.
Boy
band of all boy bands, if we're being honest.
Oh man, it's kind of sad, but like the only thing that could have kept me from like losing this argument is that they just stayed like a punk band the entire time. But then we would have lost so many recipes if like the Beastie Boys never picked up the mic.
Yep. And you know what? That's one thing that we don't give Beastie Boys the flowers from. Like, they don't get the credit. Well, not credit, but they don't get the recognition that they deserve. That, hey, man, they were a rock band at first that turned into a pretty fucking dope hip-hop group. Like, I can't think of a lot of artists that could jump from one, that could be good at one genre that they're supposed to be in, and then jump into a genre that they like, that's not really their arena, and essentially dominate it. That's what I respect about the Beastie Boys. The fact that they were actually good at two different games that were completely conflicting against each other, but in eventuality brought the two genres together. Because around, them switching to hip hop, you get Walk This Way. You know what I'm saying? So like the Beastie Boys, they're a boy band in technicality, but they also managed to influence a set of rappers that we needed. You know what I'm saying? Mac was influenced by the Beastie Boys. M was influenced by the Beastie Boys. So it's like there were kids out there that wanted to be a part of the culture and had the credentials, or I guess you could say the intangibles, to be a part of the culture, but didn't know exactly how to make their way in, and the Beastie Boys kind of opened the door for them, sort of speak.
Earlier on Facebook, you posted a clip of NBA players dancing, synced up to Get It Sexy by Sexy Red, and I'm like, man, why don't rappers have fun anymore? And as I'm saying that on the comment, we're talking about the Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys love to have a good time. And we think, because like, I think about just like the last time they really struck out to like make some hip hop shit was like in 2011. And like the lead single was like Make Some Noise. And it had a really expensive music video. And I'm like, yo, like we need like just something like, it had like Will Ferrell in a weird outfit playing the cowbell in a limousine. And it's just like, man, like this shit was just like bonkers bananas town. And I think that our next song on your retrospective, I think fits that whole like, yo, I can be a really great rapper, but I need to get on a good beat, and I need to get someone on the song with me who can rap as good as me, if not better than I can. Namely, specifically the Bruh remix by Denzel and JID. Did I lose my audio? Oh, I lost my audio for Lowe's. Hang on a second. Is it the headphones? Hold on. Nope. I still can't hear you, friend. Hang on. Going to the private chat. All right, now. Look at the private chat. Oh, God. It wouldn't be an episode of like we'd have technical difficulties, folks. Oh, dear. No, yeah, yeah. Okay. Hey, guys, how's it going? Earlier today, I was supposed to upload episode 28 of the Catter and Canard podcast. That'll be next month. And later today, maybe around 6 p.m., 7 p.m., we have the results of round 2 of Settle Sadness 2024. Please visit settlesmile.com for all the finest music, finest fashion, and finest fine art. Oh, there's Los.
All
Hello?
right, how are we doing now?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, yeah. So like I was saying, the Beastie Boys, they just they pretty much were not a stepping stone, but they opened the door for a lot of people that were capable of doing the things that they did that other rappers could, but they just never really knew how to get their foot in the door because they'd just be looked at as a white kid, you know.
Goofy goobers.
Exactly. So, like I say, you got to give Beastie Boys their flowers, you know.
They have that. As far as I'm concerned, they have that in spades. Because when MCA passed away, God rest him,
That's who passed. R.I.P. MCA.
I think he had the best rap voice in the squad, and like they're like, hey, so like don't be using our shit, or we finna sue your ass. And we all said, yeah, all right. And I respect the game for doing that because these days, like if you're on and popping and you pass away, like the vultures like we're gonna make so much money from this posthumous release. And that did not take place. So I'm glad that it did not.
It's funny you say that, and it's funny that I've been using Mac Miller as an auxiliary example throughout this entire episode.
He's also like the one artist where like even if like shit came out after he was gone from this world, it was only because like his mom said it could, and so I'm happy for that.
That's what I was about to get to. A lot of Mac's stuff, unreleased stuff, has been coming out posthumously, along with re-releases of his 10th, 15-year anniversary of his albums. And on one side, I've kind of felt the way about it because when the artist is gone, the artist is gone. Unless he leaves a note too, I feel like we should never hear this music. But if it's under the guidance of his mother, it's like, all right, I'm not going to argue with your mother, bro. At that point, it's like it doesn't matter whether or not you want that shit to come out. If your mom and your older brother says that you can do it, then I guess that's what we're doing. But on the other side of that fence is like, I'm so glad that they did because, this motherfucker could not miss in my eyes. He just couldn't.
As the Zoomers say, hey yo, Los is glazing right now. You glazing.
I don't care. I'll glaze away. I'll glaze the motherfucker, throw it into a kiln and make a goddamn ceramic pottery. I don't care. I'll make a donut out this motherfucker. But this motherfucker could not miss in my eyes essentially because for kids, they put out Just a Kid and Back in the Day, I want to say. I believe those are the name of those two. And one of them I was like, the other one I was like, yeah, nah, this sounds crazy too. I actually used it as a video for one of my Instagram videos one night. Mm-hmm. Watching movies with the sound off. They released the original version of the intro to the album. And the original version of the intro was supposed to be less ominous and more wondrous and whimsical, so to speak. And it featured Earl Sweatshirt. And then
Papa Earl.
Yeah. Yet another one that's left the mat. Earl, another one. So 4. Earl, Vince, Q, and Soul. But
Hey
yeah.
yo, speaking of 4, by the way.
Let's get to the next song.
Before I lost you on audio, episode 4 of our series was like the hip hop episode, and I wanted to hear if your take on Bruh, the remix with JID and Denzel, has that like maintained its quality for you or otherwise?
Yeah, no, that song's still a 10 out of 10 to me. That joint's a fucking crank. Denzel Curry needs a little more recognition, if you ask me, because
he has a strong body of work. It's just that like unless you were like really in like the new school hip hop trenches, you weren't giving him like the respect he deserved. And I think back to like his appearance on like the 2016 Double XL freshman cover, like his cipher happened to be with everybody else who got more popular than he did. You know, like I'm pretty sure it was the cipher with him, Yachty, Uzi, Kodak, and 21 Savage, and everyone just like soared. But like, and like what I hate about rap is that it's like, none of the new school guys can write a good verse. And it's like Denzel was right there and it was poised to have a mainstream like position in this culture, but you never fucking gave it to him. So shut the fuck up.
Like that's what pisses me off. The fact that there are lyricists out there, as you mentioned to me many a time, but I gotta go out and actually search for them. They should have to go find them now. And
we cannot trust these publications to do our work for us anymore.
But that's what frustrates me also, because there are other people that know exactly what's dope. They just need to start, requesting that shit in radio stations. Like that. That's what it really comes to.
But here's the problem about that though. It's like I feel like the request line concept is kind of fucked due to like iHeartRadio owning 75% of all the stations. You know what I mean? And that's a broad overview of radio in America. But I'm kind of not like, you can feel free to like, well, actually me about the figures and whatever the fuck. But very much it's like, unless, I don't think that like Sexy Red had to be requested 1,000 times by like her stans to get placement on air. And that's not me trying to do whataboutism. The fact of the matter is, like, there's room for every rapper that, like, the industry wants to, like, put over for tax purposes, and the motherfuckers are actually going to save the culture. There's more than enough money because people who want to, exploit rap want more artists to just, like, put their, like, how, like, motherfuckers will invest on various stocks. I feel like record executives will do that to like actual artists. Like, I'll stake like $500,000 that like I don't know, like Tyler the Creator is gonna like go over, and like Tyler got himself over, but that's neither here nor there because now like he can operate under his own like he doesn't necessarily need the industry to do what he wants to do anymore because like Pharrell works at Louis Vuitton, Tyler loves fashion, boom. He could be out of here if he really wanted to be. But what about the rest of the guys? What about the artists that Tyler actually influenced and et cetera, et cetera?
And that's the thing, right? Art and business shouldn't commingle as far any further than consumerism.
Yeah, it should be like farm to table. It's like, oh, I want some lamb. I'm going to my local shepherd. You know what I mean? And not to like shoppers to like get some lamb and shit like that.
It's like art should honestly be like a lemonade stand of sorts. Hear me out here.
Yeah, I agree.
But lemonade stand, you just put that shit up and you slinging it to whoever come by. If they fuck with it, they will get more of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if people fuck with your music, you're going to gain fans. That's it. That's all. People enjoy music. People enjoy music that they want to hear. People have trouble finding music that they want to hear. So when they find your music, they kind of cling to you because you're making the shit that they enjoy. Not everybody going to enjoy the same thing. And the problem with these businesses is that they're trying to force everybody to enjoy the same thing. And not everybody will enjoy that shit. You need a little bit of something for everybody. And they'll give you the whole thing that there is a little bit of something for everybody. And on the mainstream, no, there isn't. There's a certain, criteria that is met. Like every song that you hear on the radio checks a certain set of boxes. At this point, music ain't really being made with feeling anymore. It's being made with a bunch of Instagram captions to make more money. And when you take the integrity out of art, it just becomes drivel that you're just shoving down people's throats. And that's where we're at with mainstream hip hop right now. That's why I said earlier in that post that you mentioned about the basketball players dancing the sexy red. I said the girls are doing a better job at rapping than the boys these days. Like that's what it all boils down to. Like the girls are actually rapping like they here to prove that hey, girls can spit too. And yeah, they can. That's always been evident. Like I don't know why people have constantly disregarded that over years, but but nevertheless, here the fuck we are. And the girls are putting out better bars than the dudes are because the dudes are using auto tune and you can barely understand what they're saying first and foremost. Then they fucking using Amigos flow, and then they just saying a bunch of phrases as opposed to actual complete fucking sentences or actual verses.
Yuck, nobody's yum. But again, I would say till the cows come home. If it's a money like if I'm an exec and it's like, it's very much like a Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community kind of situation where it's like we as the consumers are like, stop playing a shit we don't care for. And the exec's like, but my corporate overlords tell me that I have to. And it's like, babes, you can give everybody what they want and still make all the money. You know what I mean? Because like speaking of money, it's not like your favorite artists are getting paid anyway. And any rapper who claims that he is, I think that he is he's capping most likely. Like, like integrity or not, because ain't nobody getting paid from what I've observed across the board, across the genre. I wanted to say two things to move on to like our international selection on the list. In regards to new music, everyone's like, I want to try and get into new artists. I don't know where to look. Fuck you. In the description, there's a song that I know most of y'all have never heard before. Go click that. I don't know. Secondly, shout out to my friend V, again, has her own website. Sells clothes, sells fine art, makes her own music. How don't you go check out her website? I've been like promoting her shit for the last like month and a half on my previous videos, and when we're done with this stream, I'll make sure I put her website in the comments. No excuses for you there. Finally, there's something I wanted to say about about women who rap. It's just that like it's so funny. Like when I was watching that Chief Keef video about like it was a video from like 5 years ago about just like how it was a video about like the whole like J. Cole Kendrick beef thing, how just like how when they're like when it comes like to the award cycle of the last 5 years or so, they're usually neck and neck, but Nicki's also there. Now we're in a point in hip hop where hold on I'm saying in the past it was only her that was up for the big fucking awards at the top of the mountain. And now these days, as opposed to just like 4 dudes and 1 shawty being at the top of the mountain, we could see, I don't know, 3 women rappers at the top of the mountain someday and a couple of fellas. That's how like shit could shift if like we like really champion these women rappers, and like it's really just like, yo, close your eyes and pick 15 of them, because like we have a lot more variety now than we ever did, and that is a very good fucking thing. Speaking of variety, our next selection is from our international episode. We have, I'm not trying to fucking mispronounce this, the Rajasthan Express with Janoon, with Shai Ben-Zer and Johnny Greenwood. I want to say this before we start. Scandal acknowledged. I will discuss this more with you, Los, off cam.
God damn it. I can't have anything nice, can I? as fuck, man.
And for what it's worth, it has nothing to do with any of like the brothers from across the pond. Well, just the white boy, Johnny, just him.
Oh, just the white boy in the group, huh?
And for the record, he ain't even in the group. They're just like, hey, white boy, want to come jam? Ah, sure, mates.
Oh,
like if you saw like
because white boy to jam with them. That's
well, it's like, and it's because
Now
you know
they
like
fuck with him like
homeboy
that.
because like homeboy like is a film composer and he's in Radiohead. But it's just like if you saw like they did one late night appearance on David Letterman. No, it was on Stephen Colbert. They did one late night appearance and you could see Johnny Greenwood in the back just like bobbing his hair, playing the bass. But everyone else, they hitting that.
They fucking it up. You know what I'm saying?
They're just like, man, they looking clean, like mustaches waxed, singing the song. I'm like, bro, like this. I'm sorry, like any cookout I'm going to, I'm playing this fucking song because you know, we just.
It fucking cranks. The song cranks.
We beating their feet like it's go-go.
I'm not changing my rating on it or nothing. Like the song fucking cranks.
Yeah, once you hear it once, it ain't ever like if the funk is in you, you're gonna appreciate this fucking record. Like if you have any semblance of rhythm, you're gonna feel this fucking record.
Exactly. You gonna rock with this genre for sure.
It's like, bro, pick up a horn, pick up a drum. It don't matter.
Pick up a fucking triangle if you need to. I don't care. A goddamn kazoo. I don't care.
Yeah, it's very much like, yo, we jamming right now, bro.
They were rocking on that genre. They were cooking.
It's like you know, like I know people like they like you put on some music. It's like, man, put this motherfucking 7-minute song on, bro. Let them cook.
Let them cook.
Let them cook. I got some lights in the stove right now, bro.
Hey, look, 8 times out of 10, there's a reason why that song's 7 minutes long.
Big facts. We aren't in the era of like people putting like hidden tracks on shit no more. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like you just vibe to it, and by like the 4th minute, you'll figure it out. Like the song's still going, and you're glad it's still going.
I remember what because like you know I'm listening to that podcast about Daft Punk, and I remember in the past you were like I don't fuck with EDM, and like there are a lot of just like cool subgenres in like the dance music category. I know that you would actually fucking feel. I just gotta like parse through and be selective about my choices. That is a season 2 problem I'm gonna have maybe around like episode 6 because I'm like the more and more I think about it, I'm like, yo, the first half of season 2 has to just be a good old Los affair, his creative input, his decisions and such. Because I've done more than enough on my own half. So let's go ahead and wrap up towards like our last song on the list, which, bro, you have no idea how much joy it brings me knowing that you enjoyed this song. It's The Bay by Metromany. Like just as far as like when it comes to this indie shit, again, much like EDM, there's just so many fucking like directions you can go down, like folk or just like I don't know, like punk or like indie-tronica, which I think is what like The Bay qualifies as. Like you got that 4 on the floor dance, you got that plucking bass line, and you got them layered harmonies, baby. Come on, with just like that horn synth like bridge on the back half. Yo, you know people are just shaking their ass to this shit in the hipster clubs. We all got all the white girls twerking to this shit.
I'm telling you. Like, well, hold on. Yeah. This song is a fucking ride. As a matter of fact, hell, man, it's an 8 out of 10. I'll give it an 8.5.
Oh, like I think the way you described it during the episode, it was like, yo, this shit sounds like some fucking Miami Vice type shit.
Dog, I kid you the fuck not, dog. I'm looking back at the notes. God damn, the bridge took me to a car chase. I found the guy that took my 92 bricks. No way I'm falling back like Jay-Z. I said, man.
Spin back.
That song a goddamn void. And then the end of the song tells me I got my bricks back and I'm standing victorious. Like, yeah. Like, the song tells a story, whatever story you wanted to tell, dog. And that shit gonna be dope.
Yeah, like, oh man, there's nothing I feel more joy in than like, yo, if like if like my parents' generation give me the ox, I'm gonna play some Fi. You know what I mean? Like when we did our R&B episode, I'm pretty sure I played you a song by the band Moonchild. And like one of the guys at my job, Reggie, shout out Reggie, Uncle Reg, like he worked in the hardware department, and like he had like his earpods in. I'm like, hey, what you listening to? I was like, I'll be on Spotify. I'm like, oh, you do? I'll be on Spotify. And so I'm like, yo, check out this Moonchild record from 2011. And like the next day, he came to my desk and he was just like, you. And I'm like, what'd I do? He was like, that shit was amazing. Start to finish. Boy, I tell you what. And I'm like, let's fucking go. Oh, come on.
If I may run back the notes for that one.
Please.
The lyrics are so entrancing. It's simple wording, complex thought. The subject matter is one that isn't used much. The near end of the honeymoon phase, pretty much. Will things hold up the way it's been so far? Which has been amazing. Man.
Just like, I love this, like, because like those three white folk who play in Moonchild, like, they like play like chamber instruments, like the clarinet and the flute and shit. But it's like, okay, but like, it's just still crank.
Yeah. Like that's what it
really release the flutes.
Like, they know how to utilize them damn instruments. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just need a band that can utilize them damn instruments. Like
we fucking the hood fucks with Kenny G, okay? Come on.
Playing the fuck out of it. Like sometimes you just gotta let motherfuckers play the fuck out of a kalimba.
Bro. I think
because that song is in fact exactly what it's titled. So it's
too good.
Let me tell you,
too fucking good, cuz.
Matter of fact, that whole R&B set was
a fun fucking episode. We were in our bag with that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying? I gave Bernhoff a 7 out of 10 to start out the episode. So we were already on a up at 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is like a C. And C, if you know me well enough, C is good.
It passes, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Then from there, it just went up, and then like kind of came down a little bit at 9.5. Like you can't ask for
down at 9.
Like,
still a fucking victory as far as I'm concerned.
Them white boys was grooving at the end.
I'm saying, boy, stop playing with my squad.
White boys be grooving sometimes, dog. Like
they be doing their homework every so often.
Not even the fact they be doing their homework. They just got it in them. They got soul. Like some white people do got soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we may have to fuck around and do like a Blue-Eyed Funk episode, bro. Because I need to play you some Snarky Puppy, some motherfucking St. Paul and the Broken Bones, some Alan Stone, like.
Because I hear Blue Eyes Soul and think Robin Thicke and goddamn Michael Bublé.
No. Michael Bublé is a poor man's Frank Sinatra. No shade, but like it is what it is. He got some joints.
Frank Sinatra, modern day Frank Sinatra.
I mean,
internet age Frank Sinatra.
We can do better than that. Shit, MJF is the internet's Frank Sinatra.
Hold on, wait. MJF is essentially fucking. Hold on, I got it. I got it here. Is wrestling Rockefeller.
You're not wrong.
Like really, just really fucking good at what he does, but not a good person.
Wrong. We haven't seen that guy in a minute on TV, so hopefully, like he's reconsidering John's offer. I mean, Cena's offer, I should say.
Wait, what?
When that movie came out with Zac Efron.
Oh, the Iron Claw.
Yeah, they met on the red carpet.
Jade Cargill debuts next Friday. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Let's focus. It's Women's Month. Let's focus.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, hey, If we watching Raw one night and all of a sudden we see MJF, I'm not gonna bat an eye.
As long as he beats the shit out of Logan Paul.
Oh, I would. Man, I would turn him face.
He would be so over. He's like, listen, motherfucker, there's only room for one douchebag in this company. It's gonna be me.
You can say the worst shit ever. You beat the shit out of Logan Paul. Hey, you're a winner in my book. That's why I can't wait for this Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, because that's gonna really determine whether or not I take boxing seriously ever again.
Listen, hey, my birthday's in July, so if anyone wants to buy me a pay-per-view to that fight or like give me some of their winnings off that fight, holla at your boy.
I will send you the link.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Fuck
sir.
it, why lie?
Hey, let's go ahead and wrap. We're about like an hour and a half into our recording. Calls to action, motherfucking calls to action. This show is made possible because of viewers like you and because of our dear friend, the foundation of this program, good old Lowe's Haystack West. You can find his Cash App in the description. Please give that motherfucker some gas money. He's working hard as a bitch out here. I'm gonna say this now out loud since this is a live recording, so I'm gonna say it out loud. If I'm still at the same job this time next year, Lowe's, I'm buying you a computer because fuck this. Like, we've been through too much together for us to it's 2024 and we're still having technical difficulties. Like, fuck all these tech billionaires, bro. Like, Wi-Fi should be free and we should all have computers. I'm buying you a fucking computer next year if I do as well on my tax refund as I did this year. And that's all.
Here's the thing, right? I have a laptop, but I learned a very valuable lesson about Chromebooks.
Oh, brother. The things I could tell you about 2018 with these motherfucking Chromebooks. I have PTSD.
I didn't know. Oh, man. That first like month of me having that motherfucker, we were still running Gorilla Gang. I was in hell.
My God. Yo, shout out my dog Kenny for real one time.
Like Kenny could tell you firsthand about my frustrations with that Chromebook.
Nah, we get some of that quality shit. Period.
Oh man.
That's the first call to action. Secondly, like I mentioned at the top of the hour, well, actually, no, that's probably like a conversation we were having off camera, but like at this very moment, unless you like look outside or watch the news, shudder, like there are at least 12 to 13 humanitarian crises happening all at the same fucking time. And to be not discouraged, you can just pick one and focus on that. And there's this one Black Panther who was like, how, I guess like, what's it called? I think it's like, think internationally, act locally. You know, like I'm in Philadelphia. There's like a myriad of things going wrong in this city. I'm sure there's like a myriad of things going on in the DMV. Just like pick one thing. It's like, oh, I can help and do that. Just do like the little thing, like help, I don't know, one fucking person like every month or week or so. And you're already doing way more than these assholes in DC are doing. But for the record, in case any asshole is just like, oh, like the world has been better at this particular time, you can mention the fact that there are crises happening in Ghana, Yemen, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ethiopia, Niger, Somalia, Mali, Myanmar, Burkina Faso, Palestine, Darfur, South Sudan, and Ukraine. I mean, like, there's shit happening everywhere. We acknowledge that these things are happening, and we stand with those particular peoples. Like, death to fucking colonialism, death to fucking imperialism. Like, let the motherfuckers like we ain't free till we all free. And I will spend the rest of my fucking life fighting for that particular thing. Speaking of being free, water, like Wi-Fi, is a human right. So if you have like the ability to do so, drink some motherfucking water. It's good for you. And like, who knows how, like, and if like this second winter shit is any indication, who knows what planet Earth has in store for us. Yo, real quick, bro, like when I was at that iftar, like there was a bunch of sparkling water. So I took some home with me. I bought some mango nectar from like the grocery store last night. So I mixed that shit together and I'm like, motherfucker, I'm never drinking soda ever again. Cause this shit was cranking. I'm like, this shit is delicious. What the fuck? Oh my God. Because someone brought apricot nectar and they're like, yo, mix this with some sparkling water. And I'm like, oh,
Nectars is the soul that sparkling waters need?
Brother, I'm telling you. This shit, it's giving ambrosia. I'm like, brother, what have I been doing wrong all this time? Like Mountain Dew, who? Dr. Pepper, who? Bye.
Is Olos gonna get into White Claws? Is that what that means?
Don't be giving away free money. If you know, you know. I'm just saying.
What I have to do? I'm gonna have to get into alcoholic sparklers.
Dog, I go to like a discount grocery store. They have Liquid Death for $1. I got 3 of them. I'm like, yeah, we on some other shit now.
I didn't know what Liquid Death is. I've seen the can. And I'm like, I don't even want to try this. Like,
it's just water, but they dipped into like their sparkling water bag, so they got teas and shit. And I'm like, bro, like, as long as there ain't no high fructose corn syrup, we can mess with this a little bit. But yeah, man.
I only like the Walmart sparkling waters because there's going to be flavored, but that's not the point. I do want to say this though, in touch with your what you were just saying.
International crises, humanitarian crises.
Yes. Listen, man, you're not God. Only deities are omnipotent. All right.
Not by any stretch of the imagination.
You'll lose your fucking mind trying to be omnipotent. So just do your part, be the change that you want to see in your community. And hopefully that rubs off on other communities nearby. That will rub off on other communities far away, which will eventually rub off on communities foreign as well.
I wanted to be like,
that's all I got for
during Black History Month, I don't know who said it. I think it was last year. Where like this one activist was like, oh, I visited a different country and seeing how like things were just going wrong all the time everywhere. And at the conclusion of my trip, like she was like, what do I do? Like, how do I help? And the people there were like, bro, just take care of like your own people. Cause she was like a Black woman. She's like, yo, take care of Black people in your community. Cause like you taking care of like your neighbors and your family and your city will then show other people like, oh, like we can take care of our cities and neighborhoods and communities and such. Like, you don't have to fix everything, but just like stand on business, like the mugs. And like there's like this Irish group called Kneecap, and they're supposed to play South by Southwest, but they're like, hey, hold up, ain't the U.S. Army one of your sponsors at South by Southwest? Nah, we ain't fuck with that motherfucker. We don't fuck with that shit. We ain't playing. And like 60 other acts who are also Irish, like, you know what, we ain't doing that shit neither. Nah, we ain't playing that shit. Fuck that. They still booked to play in Texas, play elsewhere. Like, oh, if you're a corporate sponsor of the motherfucking Army, bro, y'all be on fuck shit. We ain't playing there, bro. Like, that's just not the shit we on. Like, fuck all that. And I'm like, it could be that fucking simple. Just do your research, verify it twice, keep it pushing. What are you talking about at the water cooler anyway? Man. Fucking like Drake versus Kendrick? Man, there's more important things to talk about. Like, oh, talk about your nieces, talk about your grandmas. You know what I mean? Like, oh, how's your dog doing? Like, let's focus. Let's focus. And finally, last call to action. Well, two more. Thirdly, put a mask on. Still COVID out here. I got it one time. I don't want to get it ever again. Over the nose, under your mouth, high quality. Like, you could spend $30 and get 100 of those motherfuckers. Do it for yourself. Do it for your children. Do it for the immunocompromised. Do it for the elderly. Do it for yourself. And finally, most importantly, you're going to get up from this stream. You're going to go get a glass of water. You're going to go floss. I don't know, put on some makeup. You're going to go pee. You're going to look at yourself in the mirror. I want you to look at yourself dead in the mirror, dead in the eye, and be like, I love you, to yourself. You're going to tell yourself you love yourself. And if you cannot do so, trust me, I understand. Please know that me and good old Los, we love you in the most platonic and supportive way possible. Hate is easy. Love is harder, but it's more worthwhile.
One more thing, ladies and gentlemen, and them, it's March Madness. Your brackets are already
like busted. The March Madness.
Your brackets are already busted. These kids are going to be out of the college system and possibly into a league, if not into the league somewhere foreign in the next year. This is a recurring thing. It's a one and done culture. You don't watch the full college basketball season. Why do you still do your brackets? I don't know, but give up.
Hey, give up on your March Madness brackets. Give up on your March Madness brackets and participate in the subtle sadness bracket by me and V. Like last year and this year, we decided, how do we pump up V's business? Like, how do we pump up your website? Because like she's working independently. It's all coming out of one person. The fashion, the music, the fine art. It's like, okay, so we both love music, you and I, V. So you pick some songs, I'll pick some songs. We'll put it in a bracket. And if I win, I get some of your art on a discount. But if I lose, I'll buy it full price and be like, yeah, this is that subtle smile shit by Vina Aragon. Buy some shit. You know what I mean?
I love a region.
Bro, hey, and next year,
I love to do a region. I'm not gonna lie to you. That sounds like fun.
Listen, because like next year will be 2025, and like for like last year and this year, we got V's brother involved, and he was like, "Bro, I don't want to win nothing. I just want the clout." And so he put one song in every bracket. Like for this, he put a song in last year, he put a song in this year, and
Let's
so
see where
next
they
year, yeah, and like next year's 2025. I'm like, wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. There's room for 5 fucking teams if we're keeping it a buck. And so who knows? I may try to integrate both brands together. You never know. And like the threads will be live on Twitter. Like they'll be pinned to my profile. I'm gonna retweet every single one. And it's like we're almost done because March is almost done. I start the shit in the beginning of March because I'm like, bro, it's March Madness. Let's do the whole fucking month. That's way too much fucking basketball in the first place. You can't watch every fucking game. So I'm like, why don't we start at the fucking beginning? So like,
well, you could try.
Yeah, and like, and see what that fucking gets you. See what that fucking gets you.
Lord knows I have.
Jesus, God in heaven. So like, V's excited. I'm excited. The new polls on Twitter will be going live this afternoon. I think hopefully by like 6 or 7 p.m. I'm gonna go live by myself, talk about like the results of round 2 and move closer to round 3. Like, I think I have about 7 songs. We started with 2023 songs because I'm like, oh, we did like the best songs from last year, like our favorite songs from last year. And so like from 23, we have 7 songs left. And so like the remaining competitors are gonna duke it out. And that should be a blast. Season 2 of Haystack Hate Your Music next month for sure. Part 1 and 2 of like they do like 8 songs from like Los's greatest songs of all time list. I'll be doing all like the research and note taking. I'm very excited for that. It's gonna be like it's only like month 3 of the year, and like so much shit has already happened. Who the fuck knows what's waiting over the hill? We'll be there with you. Any last thoughts before we get out of here, Los?
Well, on the subject of brackets, we'll talk off camera for that. but that's why I'm really enamored with that idea of y'all.
Let's go, baby. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is not farewell. It's just goodbye. Say goodbye, Los.
Take it easy, y'all. Take care and be easy.